Welcome to Good Friday. Welcome to the truth. The truest things are the ones we approach in the dark and the quiet with less certainty than we would like, not because the truth is uncertain, but because it is large enough that we cannot see all of it at once. We can only receive it piece by piece in the flickering light of candles that will, one by one tonight, go out. And that is what the service of Tenebrae is. It means shadows, darkness. The service has its roots in the ancient church. Christians would gather in the late hours of the Holy Week to read the story of the Passion slowly, deliberately, out loud, together. Not to rush through it, but to resist the very natural human impulse to get to Sunday as quickly as possible, to skip from the palm branches and straight to the empty tomb, and avoid the terrible hours that were in between. The church, in its wisdom, decided that we could not afford to do that we needed once a year to sit in the dark with what Friday actually cost us, not as some kind of spiritual exercise in guilt or performance of grief, but because the story of the cross is a story of what God was willing to endure for the sake of the world, and a story that significantly deserves to be heard fully and without hurrying. So tonight we stay with the darkness. We hold it. We let it be what it is. And we trust, because this is the nature of what it means to be Christian, we trust that the darkness does not have the final word, even when we can't see what comes next. So a few things for you to know as we begin. The service is meant to be experienced in quiet, so we ask you to silence your cell phones, not just the ringer, but the light of the screen. In the dimming light of this service, a screen becomes intrusive. And let your hands be empty tonight. Let your eyes stay locked on Christ. There won't be any applause or transitions that ask anything of you, really just but your attention. You won't be asked to stand or to sit on cue, just to be present. Let the readings come and wash over you. Let the light go. Well, there's one thing that we'll ask, and it was detailed in a handout. I implore you to speak aloud, crucify him when the time comes. And at the close of the service, there will be something called a strepitus, a sudden loud noise that is part of the Tenebrae service and tradition for centuries. It represents the chaos of the crucifixion, the earthquake, the tearing of the temple curtain, the rupture of everything that felt stable. It may startle you, and that is the intent. In the moment after it, we'll sit together in complete darkness, complete silence. So tonight, there won't be a cheery recessional after this. There won't be a drive safe and see you next Sunday at the door. It's just going to be darkness. It's just going to be silence. It's the invitation for you to carry what you've heard out into the night and let it do its work in you before Easter and the morning comes. So tonight, I hope you enter into the oldest story that has ever been told. Story of a God who faced a broken world and didn't fix it from a distance. A God who became crushable and a man who was scourged and crushed. Who came, who loved, who suffered and died. And the darkness, at least for tonight, was very great. Let's begin.
My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from my cries of anguish. My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer. By night, but I find no rest. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the one Israel praises. In you our ancestors put their trust. They trusted, and you delivered them. To To you they cried out and were saved. In you they trusted and were not put to shame.
Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and 2 sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled.
My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me.
Going a little farther, he fell with his face on the ground and prayed,
My Father, if it is possible, may the cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will.
Then he returned to his disciples, found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour? Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away a second time and prayed,
My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done.
When he came back, he again found them sleeping, because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more, and prayed the 3rd time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them,
Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer.
He asked them to stay awake. He asked once, then twice, and then a 3rd time. And each time he returned to find them sleeping. Wanting company in the dark is not weakness. It is the most human thing in this story. Will you please sing with me, "What Wondrous Love Is This," number 314 in the hymnals this evening.
What wondrous love is
has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain, like one from whom people hide their faces. He was despised, and we held him in low esteem.
While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them.
The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him.
Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, and he kissed him. And Jesus replied,
Do what you came for, friend.
Then the man stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him, and with that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear.
Put your sword back in its place, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way?
In that hour, Jesus said to the crowd,
Am I leading a rebellion that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courts teaching, and you did not arrest me. But this has all taken place, that the writings of the prophets might be fulfilled.
Then all the disciples deserted him and fled.
You are the God who saves me. Day and night I cry out to you. May my prayer come before you. Turn your ear to my cry. I'm overwhelmed with troubles, and my life draws near to death. I'm counted among those who go down to the pit. I'm like one without strength. I am set apart with the dead, like the slain who lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, who are cut off from your care. You have put me in the lowest pit, in the darkest depths. Your wrath lies heavily on me. You have overwhelmed me with all your waves. You have taken from me my closest friends and have made me repulsive to them. I'm confined and cannot escape. My eyes are dim with grief.
Those who arrested Jesus took him to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the teachers of the law and the elders had assembled. But Peter followed him at a distance. Right up to the courtyard of the high priest, he entered and sat down with the guards to see the outcome. Now Peter was sitting out in the courtyard, and a servant girl came to him and said, "You also were with Jesus of Galilee." But he denied it before them all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then he went out to the gateway, where another servant girl saw him and said to the people there, "This fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth." He denied it again with an oath.
I don't know the man.
After a little while, those standing there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you are one of them. Your accent gives you away."
No, I tell you, I don't know the man.
Immediately a rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken. "Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." And he went outside and wept bitterly. Meanwhile, Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him,
Are you king of the Jews?
You have said so.
When he was accused by the chief priests and the elders, he gave no answer. And Pilate asked him, Jesus made no reply, not even to a single charge. To the great amazement of the governor, the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas and to have Jesus executed. "Which of the 2 do you want me to release to you?" asked the governor.
Barabbas.
"What shall I do then with Jesus, who is called the Messiah?" Pilate asked. And they all answered, "Crucify him." "Why? What crime has he committed?" But they all shouted louder, "Crucify him." When Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but instead an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd.
I am innocent of this man's blood.
And all of the people answered, "His blood is on us and our children." Peter's denial happened 3 times, like a door closing. Each time he could have held. Each time he chose the safe answer. Pilate washes his hands as though the gesture changes anything and everything. We are familiar with both of these moments, and so the rooster crows for us too.
Is it nothing to you, all you who pass by? Look around and see. Is any suffering like my suffering that was inflicted on me, that the Lord brought on me in the day of his fierce anger?
The governor's soldiers took Jesus to the praetorium and gathered the whole company of soldiers around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him and twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand, and then they knelt in front of him and mocked him.
Just look at him. All hail, King of the Jews.
They spit on him, took the staff and struck him on the head again and again. They had mocked them. They took off the robe, put his own clothes on him, and led him to crucify him. As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they forced him to carry the cross. Simon doesn't volunteer. He is compelled. He was passing by, coming in from his own country, and suddenly he was carrying a cross that was not his. We do not know what Simon thought or what Simon felt. We only know that he carried it. And sometimes that is just faith.
Many bulls surround me. Strong bulls of Bashan encircle me. Roaring lions that tear their prey open their mouths wide against me. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart has turned to wax. It has melted within me. My mouth is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. You lay me in the dust of death. Dogs surround me. A pack of villains encircles me. They pierce my hands and my feet. All my bones are on display. People stare and gloat over me. They divide my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment.
They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots, and sitting down, they kept watch over him there. Above his head, they placed the written charge against him, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." 2 rebels were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. And those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying,
"You who are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. Come down from the cross if you are the Son of God."
In the same way, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders mocked him.
He saved others, but he can't save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down and from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him. For he said, "I am the Son of God."
In the same way, the rebels who were crucified with him also heaped insults on him. Christ is silent. The taunts demand that he demonstrate power. They would believe, they say, if he just came down. But this is exactly where faith breaks open. Not in the coming down, but in the staying. The psalm knew this hour before it arrived. Darkness is my closest friend, is still ahead. We aren't there yet. Surely he has borne our
he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment, he was taken away. Yet who of his generation protested? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people, he was punished. He was assigned a grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death. Though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth.
From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice,
Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me?
When some of those standing there heard this, they said,
Listen, he calls upon Elijah.
Immediately one of them ran and got a sponge. He filled it with wine vinegar, put it on a staff, and offered it to Jesus to drink. And the rest said,
Now leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to save him.
And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit.
I cry to you for help, Lord. In the morning, my prayer comes before you. Why, Lord, do you reject me and hide your face from me? From my youth I have suffered and been close to death. I have borne your terrors and am in despair. Your wrath has swept over me. Your terrors have destroyed me. All day long they surround me like a flood. They have completely engulfed me. You have taken from me friend and neighbor. Darkness is my closest friend.
At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, the rocks split, and the tombs broke open. The bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs after Jesus' resurrection. They went into the holy city and appeared to many people. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, they were terrified and exclaimed,
Surely he is the Son of God.
Many women were there, watching from a distance. They had followed Jesus from Galilee to care for his needs. And as evening approached, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who had himself become a disciple of Jesus. Going to Pilate, he asked for the body of Jesus, and Pilate ordered that it be given to him. So Joseph took the body, wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and placed it in his own new tomb that he had cut out of the rock. He rolled a big stone in front of the entrance to the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the others were sitting opposite the tomb.
Let the tomb be made secure.
The true light that gives light to everyone was coming to the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him.